So you've got a great business in Auckland. You're proud of it. And you go to Google it, ready to see your name up in lights, only to find, well, nothing. It is an incredibly common and, let's be honest, super frustrating problem. You know you're there, but for some reason, to Google, you're practically invisible. We're going to get to the bottom of that today.
It's that sinking feeling in your stomach, right? You type in your business name, maybe add Auckland or your suburb, you hit search, and it's just crickets. Or even worse, your biggest competitor pops up instead, and you're just left there thinking, what is going on? Why aren't I showing up?
Well, here's the first bit of good news. You are absolutely not alone. This is one of the biggest hurdles for small businesses all over Auckland, all over New Zealand, really. And the best part? This isn't some unsolvable mystery. Most of the time, there are very clear reasons why this happens, which means there are very clear, very doable fixes.
Okay, so let's break it down. We're going to walk through the usual suspects, the most common reasons you're not ranking. We'll look at your Google business profile, the health of your website, whether your info is consistent online, and even if you're talking about your business in the same way your customers are.
First things first, we've got to talk about your foundation. Think of it like building a house. If the foundation isn't solid, nothing else matters. These next two steps are the absolute non-negotiables for any local business that wants to get found on Google.
And the cornerstone of that foundation is your Google business profile. You know when you search for something like cafe near me and that little map with 3 businesses pops up? That's what this is. It's a completely free listing from Google, but if you haven't claimed and completed it, you're basically invisible in those critical local searches. You're just handing customers over to your competition.
And just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got a profile that's actually working against you. It's not verified, no photos, no reviews, it looks abandoned. But on the right, that's the goal. Verified, packed with recent photos, glowing reviews that you've actually taken the time to reply to. Every single field is filled out. The difference in performance between these two isn't small, it's huge.
Now, building on that, let's talk about trust. And for Google, trust comes down to consistency. We're talking about your NAP, your name, address, and phone number. Google is like a detective. It checks your details on your website, on Facebook, on Find Out, on Yellow Pages, everywhere. And if one says Kiwi Plumbing Limited and another just says Kiwi Plumbing, that creates confusion. That tiny difference erodes Google's trust in your business, and your ranking suffers because of it. It has to be identical.
All right, so our foundation's getting sorted. Now let's look at your actual digital storefront, your website. It's your 24/7 salesperson, and you better believe its technical health plays a massive role in how Google sees you.
So what does a number like this mean? Well, 45 out of 100 is a pretty typical mobile speed score we see for a lot of small business websites. To Google, anything under 50 is a huge red flag. It's basically Google saying, hey, this site is slow and clunky for people on their phones, which, by the way, is most of your customers, so we're going to show them a faster, better site instead.
And it's not just about speed. It's also about having clear signposts. Think of it this way. Your website is a book. Does every page have a unique title tag, like a title for the book? Does each page have one and only one main H1 heading, like a chapter title? Are the URLs clean and easy to read? These simple on-page basics are how you tell Google exactly what each page is about.
Okay, foundation is solid. Your digital storefront is in good shape. Now let's get into what you're actually saying on your site. And just as importantly, who else online is talking about you. This is all about content and authority.
This, right here, is such a classic mistake. You might use fancy industry terms because they sound professional, but you have to use the words your customers are actually typing into Google. You have to speak their language. You might be a bespoke joinery specialist, but if all your potential customers in Auckland are searching for custom kitchen cabinets, you're never going to connect.
And Google looks for depth. If your main service page only has 100 words on it, Google calls that thin content. It basically signals that there's not much value there. And if you couple that with the fact that no other reputable local New Zealand websites or directories are even mentioning you, Google starts to wonder if you're a real established business at all. So, what's the fix? Well, it's pretty straightforward. First, flesh out those service pages. Aim for 400 words or more and make it genuinely useful. Answer the questions your customers are asking. And second, start getting your business listed in those key New Zealand directories. Each one is like a little vote of confidence for your business.
Okay, I know that was a lot of information, and it can definitely feel overwhelming. So if you're thinking, where do I even start? Don't worry, we're going to boil all of this down to the 2 most powerful things you can do right now.
This is it. This is your starting line. Step 1. Go claim your Google business profile and fill out every single section, meticulously. Step 2. Become a detective. Hunt down every mention of your business online and make sure your name, address, and phone number are 100% identical everywhere. Seriously, just focusing on these 2 steps can create real, visible improvements in your ranking in as little as 4 to 8 weeks.
But let's be realistic here. Getting found on Google is a marathon, not a sprint. This timeline gives you a pretty clear idea of how it plays out. In the first couple of months, you'll start to see those foundational fixes kick in. Then, as you work on your website, you'll see more movement. But the kind of momentum that brings in real, consistent traffic, that comes from putting in the effort month after month for 6 to 12 months.
And really, that brings us to the most important point of all. The reason your competitors are showing up and you're not might be as simple as this. They started doing this stuff a few years ago. They've been building that foundation, creating that content, and earning that trust over time. They already started. So the only question left is, when are you going to?